Hawaiians came here centuries ago. They came on the Wa'akaulo, which is double hull canoes. They were looking for, different aina, different lands to do their practices, in the culture. And they came in waves to the Hawaiian Islands. They found that this was a very pono place to live.
The Hawaiians use to voyage here, to travel, they use in the wind, the stars, and the moon to navigate to find Hawaii.
They brought animals with them. They brought like the pua'a, the pig. They brought the moa, the chicken.
They bought ulu, they bought taro, they bought dry fish, they bought coconuts, whatever they could bring with them just to survive on a long voyage to Hawaii.
Hawaiians were very hardworking people, hardworking class. They were fishermen who went out into the ocean, and did all the fishing. They were farmers. They farmed taro, they farmed maya bananas, they farmed uala, sweet potato. These are all practitioners and skilled at what they did.
The Makahiki actually, it derives from worshiping the god Lono. He actually represented procreation, agriculture, and also peace. And during that month, there's actually no wars actually being fought during the Makahiki season.
That's when the Hawaiians, they stopped fishing, they stopped farming. It was a time for gathering of the foods and time for exercising and playing and having fun. But their fun were activities where they would have to keep them in spiritual and physical strength. Because after Makahiki, which was 4 months, November, December, January, and February, it was time of coup. So they had to strengthen themselves in preparation for war. They also had marked battles. During Makahiki time, they would have opponents in 10 on one side, 10 on the other side, and they would throw the spears at each other. And they would learn they practice grabbing the spears in the air and throwing them back. Another game was moko moko. Well, moko moko means a type of wrestling and a type of fighting. Two opponents would face each other, and they would wrestle each other. The whole village would come because they wanted to see the strength of different villages. Holua, which is one of the sports that they did during the time of Makahiki, is a Hawaiian sled, Holua. The meaning of the whole thing is riding a sled was like riding a spear. This was part of their body, because riding this thing, it took pride, it took skill, it took stamina, it took strength to just hold it together. It's like riding a surfboard. This was a type of surfing. It was land surfing.
What we have here actually are two papaholuas. This one is roughly about 11 feet 6 inches, and this one is roughly about 8 feet long. And I don't know if you can see actually the shape of the papaholua. It is narrow in the front, and it comes wider as you go to the back here. On this particular one, as you can see, this is the front, so it's narrow here, and it gets wide right here, and it goes back and it gets narrow back at the very end. So this is actually two different designs of papaholua. This particular papaholua is built out of ohia wood. This is basically a native hardwood in Hawaii. And as you can see, the different components are the native hardwoods, then you'll find bamboo strips, and then also the coconut in it. This would be the kamahaloa right here. And you're going to find actually small little cross pieces is known as the mana, and this is also a native hardwood. Finally, you have the top rails are the kalele right here. When you ride the papaholua, you would hold the kalele in this fashion right here. So you read something like this, holding it like this, and you'll be laying on the top of the papaholua. As you can see the front of the papaholua, you can see that it curves up to a point. And the reason why you have this shape right here is because you don't want the papaholua to actually dig into the ground when you're riding the papaholua. Secondly, if you see this shape right here, the front shape right here, this actually represents your palms like this, and this represents an offering. So when you're riding the Papa Holua, that's representing that you're an offering to the gods in the old days.
They took great pride making their huluas. It took art, it took skill. They designed it to make it streamlined, to make it fast, because it's the edge, the bottom of the aloha. The sharper the point was on the bottom, of the holua, the faster you would go. The thing would crown out, and be round. There's more surface on the pili grass and on the lahala.
But like anything else in the Hawaiian culture, everything was actually, it was an art, it was a science. So, and as you look at the sled, the Papa Holua is really unique, something that you're not going to find any place else in the world except actually in Polynesia.
The slide itself, it was covered with river rocks and ocean rocks. In between these big poakus, had ili poakus. And this pa was built like a big wall just going down, and they would fill up all the pukas, and the whole village would get involved, and they would tamper this whole slide, this pa holua. And some of them was a couple hundred feet to a mile long. And the grade was steep, like 45 degrees, and the ramps would go right into the ocean. So you can just imagine sliding down these hills. It was, some of them were just like, they would come up to like a little lip, just like a wave. And they would airborne, and they would slide.
As you can see on the either side of the Kahua Holua, you can see all these big boulders, and it's almost like cliffs, yeah? So just imagine where the Kahua Holua is. It was like almost like a cliff, and you had to actually build up the ramp. So it took a lot of work. So even before they did any construction, they had chants and protocol that they had to do before they simply just built this right here. And it's not simply just throwing rocks together to build something like this. So it took some technique, and also he had to be a master on laying rock and setting foundation. Before you can even ride on the Kahua Holua, you have to put fiber materials like tea leaves or roll out actually lauhala mats, and you need actually a cushion, and it has to be slippery. And the other component actually is that you would oil the runners on the Papa Holua. You'd oil it with kukui oil, so that would be really slippery. And combined on something like tea leaf with really slippery surface, you can just slide on it really fast and quick. In the old days, they would do is actually bed for like canoes, they'd bed for land, or bed for a larger amount of food, or like kapa, spears, malos, and stuff like that. When one who rode this Kahua Holua, it could be very dangerous, because in this section right here, as you can see, if you go off the course, you'll end up actually in this hole over here, or actually on this side. And like all of this rocks is really rough, so you can get really hurt. I have actually found various sizes of Kahua Holua. I found a particular one roughly about 8 feet wide and probably about 70 feet long, and not too steep. So if you look at this slide, it looks like it was built for the children of Keiki. Yeah. Versus like something like this, it's kind of narrow, and so when you approach the slide from the top, you have to have your Papa Holua actually in the very middle, because if it's at an angle, you're just going to right off of the sides of the slide itself. So you have to have some kind of experience on how to ride and stuff like that.
It took skill, it took great skill to hang on. And if you ever ran off the pa holua, you ran off this slide, you would actually break a neck, break a leg, break some part of your kino, which is your body, and they actually would, they had these little ahus over there, a few places that we found where they actually buried the guys, right next to these slides.
What you're gonna find is just behind the beginning of the slide is actually a running path. So the person who would ride this particular slide, he would run on the path, and when he approached the beginning of the slide, he would throw himself onto the sled and land actually in the center of this slide and just go straight down. In this particular area, it's a huge lava flow, and this is actually built right onto the lava flow. The running path is roughly about 8 feet wide, by about 60 feet long. It's a typical size of the running path. And you can also see like the water-worn stones which mark the beginning of the slide itself. As we look out into the bays, actually upon that bay over there, that bay is known as Kaupo Bay. And the other bay over here is known as Ahole Bay. So this Holua is actually closer to the Ahole Bay.
You know, the cultural component of our program really started because kids wanted to learn more about their culture. They wanted to understand more about their heritage and who they are and where they came from. And it's really because our students said they wanted to study Hawaiian history and Hawaiian culture and Hawaiian language and hula and oli that we started to look for instructors who could bring those kinds of skills to our kids. And we've been really fortunate to have experts in the community, cultural practitioners who have come in year after year to pass on skills to our students. Many of these skills are dying arts, things like lauhala weaving or pahu drum making, arts that have not been practiced readily in the community. And so we've been really fortunate to have people who are willing to give back to the kids and who have a desire to pass on these kinds of skills to the younger generation.
Taking actually the students to Kapua, the Kahua Holua, that actually is a really good example of a Kahua Holua or slide that's actually intact. I think it's really important for actually bringing down the students to that slide because the historical background, because that actually slide was a favorite slide for King Kalakaua, so that was actually important.
But Uncle Keone, who taught us how to build our own Holua Sled and how to ride it, that was a pretty good, amazing experience.
We got there, was like, oh my God, is this a slide? And then when we finally rode it, everybody was like, oh, come on, let's go.
I tried standing up and then it worked better for me, so I just started riding them up. It's like surfing on rocks, lava rocks.
To me, it was like trying to see how the old Hawaiians used to enjoy their day, and I can tell they had some fun.
My goal working with the kids is to let the kids know this is Hawaii, we are Hawaiians, and the Hawaiians are still living.
They got so much mana'o in them, they got so much mana, they got so much energy that I look at them and say, hey, you guys did it. You guys did it because you know why? You wanted to do it. You wanted to carry on your culture. You wanted to ho'omau. You wanted to show your ancestors that you can do it, and they did it, you know, with pride.
It's like getting away from the world outside, and I just have fun with everybody. I love coming to school. That's something I would have never said 2 years ago, ever.
I was honored for doing them because Hawaiians did them, so I went Hawaiian and I went for doing them. Proud to be Hawaiian. Feel great to be a Hawaiian. I mean, it's my culture, and I'm glad to be representing my culture and to also do the things that my ancestors have done and then try to pass it on to the next generation.
Even told us how they used to get down into YPO with the Holua Sled, just like learn more about my culture even more.
That was awesome because the kids could not only read about it, they did it, they lived it.
We gaining momentum on our culture. Gaining momentum is like riding a sled. We have the momentum. So we got a ho'omau, we got a helimoa, aole hope. One day they could do the same and, you know, teach other students about, you know, a part of their culture, which is the Holua.
In Hawaii, living island style. Alright!
On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward.
So you'd be like something like this, holding the papa holua and just lying on it.
Mama's in the kitchen cooking dinner real nice. Beef stew on the stove, low salmon with the ice. We don't drink and we sing on.
Most people wouldn't think that it's a slide to be ridden on. The spot would be good. There'll be a few that want to try.
From the mountain to the ocean, from the
Got all bust the first time, but chance them. Charge. Yeah, it was good fun after.
We do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. We go grandma's house on the weekend, clean yard, cause if we don't go, grandma gotta work hard. Yeah. You know my grandma, she like the boy real sour. I love my grandma every minute, every hour on the island. We do it island style.
This is my first time and it was a good experience. Just coming down here and just looking around and just appreciating like all the stuff that the people back in the past, like all the kapunas like that, just taking care of this place and living off the land.
I like to just, teach what my grandfather taught me, and just kind of pass it on to the kids. And I noticed that once they learn something and they get them, they like it, and they like show other people. So it's like you just kind of spread the mana, you know what I mean? And just make everybody get, more you can see the mana come out of that, and just their pride.
Mama's in the kitchen cooking dinner real nice. Beef stew on the stove, low salmon with ice. We don't drink and we sing all day. Kani kapila in the old Hawaiian way on the island. We do it island style.
Being here makes me feel great. There was a lot of aloha for everyone over here. Everyone looked out for each other, everyone took care of each other, made sure everyone was okay and comfortable.
From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side.
To see how their ancestors lived, it's beautiful. When you walk the trails, you actually feel like, they're with you. It just feels like they're rejoicing with us that we're able to share this experience.
From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side.
Working with the students at Lanakila culturally is very important because it's not only teaching them about the past, about building the papa holua or riding on the kahua holua, but it's actually establishing a sense of pride, and also establishing with them the basic values of who they are, and trying to to instill with them who they are and why it's important to be Kanaka Maoli, and learning their past.
I think it's awesome to have Uncle Keone Taraldi, Uncle Keone Kalawe, now Uncle Kini, Auntie Linda, and Uncle Kimo to come out here and help the kids. They're all masters in their field, and for them to be willing to share their knowledge and their skills with our kids are awesome. I mean, because, you know, they're in demand. They can go anywhere they want to, but they have a heart for Lanakila. So I'm very glad to be a part of this program and the Hawaiian Studies part of it.
It's unreal. I love to work with the kids and to just share of the past Hawaiian history, and as now work with the kids and showing the kids how to work with different implements or different type of arts what the Hawaiians did way back before. The kids are happy. They're really happy they did something Hawaiian.
I never danced hula or weaved lauhala or rode a Holua sled until we developed that component in our program. And our philosophy here is that we're all a community of learners. So there is nothing that we ask our students to do that the teachers are not willing to jump in and do as well. And that includes all of the cultural activities. So I've been able to weave a lauhala bracelet. I've been able to help haul rocks to put in an imu. I've worked in the lo'i. I've hiked out a YPO with the kids. You know, it's been an amazing learning experience for myself as well.
Lanakila school taught me just how for me more into my culture, how for just appreciate my culture more. They took us down to YPO, then tell us more about our culture, about how people down there used to live, and we even made one towel patch down there. They even told us how they used to get down into YPO with the Holua Sled. I learned more stuff about my culture that I never knew before.
When you're at places like YPO Valley or when you're at places like Kapua, it's always good to just take time to yourself and to walk around, to notice things that you wouldn't notice if you were to just walk by. Just take some time to have respect, to malamada aina, to appreciate where you are and being your surroundings. I learned a lot when we went to YPO. I learned from pretty much the top, the pali of YPO, all the way down towards Napopo, everything along the way. We've learned all about like burial sites. We learned the significance of YPO and waterfalls and like some things that you shouldn't do, just cultural practices. We danced hula down there, we set a imu, we made Hawaiian dishes like kulolo, and we picked and harvested everything. We worked in the lo'i. It was really fun. We even had a mud fight.
What's really neat for me is seeing kids change from being very reluctant to participate in, for example, oli or hula, and then by the time they're graduating, to be pursuing some of these things on their own time, or to even be considering pursuing degrees in Hawaiian studies. And so I know that on a lot of different levels, the cultural component does impact a lot of our students. One of the biggest things that I think I see is just the sense of family that we try and create here. And I really believe that that's a Hawaiian-based value, this notion of ohana and working together and helping each other out and accepting differences. And that is something that we also try and reinforce here. And I hope that's something that our kids will carry with them always.
Here at Lanakila, I'd say we have like the best staff in the world. There's so much love here. I feel real rooted, so much support around us. The staff pretty much helped me find out who I was and taught me a lot about like the Hawaiian culture, and I learned so much, and I realized how much they were there for us and how much they gave to us, and really appreciate every little thing that they've done for us.
For a long time I've wanted to work with Native Hawaiian children, and Lanakila has given me that opportunity to work with Native Hawaiian children, because I know that they face a lot of obstacles in their life, you know, and here, you know, if kids have a problem, they're able to reach out to the teachers here, you know, and for help, and we're willing to help.
Well, the teachers and the staff at Lanakila School they're the best, because they actually care about you. Like if I was in Hilo High, guaranteed they wouldn't look at us like how Miss Hamani guys look at us. They give us love, like family kind, and that's what we need, because you know, we need love.
I love them. I love each and every one of them. Before, I didn't really have that self-motivation to, you know, succeed. Like after a while, I kind of gave up already, because in my other school, the teachers didn't care. And when I came here, the teachers showed that they really did care and that they wanted to see me, you know, succeed.
And what we try to here at Lanakila is we treat them as pretty much almost like equals, you know, and treat them with the respect and, you know, and ask them to do the same. And once I think they get that part down, I think everything else kind of falls into place.
These teachers, they care about the students, they do everything for the students. They even put their own family on the side just for our students, so we can learn and we can have a time to pass and move on to our next grade and be able to graduate.
The school has made me a better person, for reals. They taught me to be prepared for the future.
At Lanakila School, we learned English, math, science, global studies, but they also focus more on our culture, which is Hawaiian, and they just wanted us to be more proud of being on Hawaiian.
I feel really good about the teachers because they helped me a lot in life too. Before this, I never really cared for school, but the teachers, they actually give up their own time to teach you. That's what makes me feel like they care about me, and like they do a lot of stuff for me too, like a lot.
Like weaving lauhala, it helps me like with my generation back because of my great-grandma, my great-great-grandma, who was a lauhala weaver out Kalapana. And, like, it's good to just carry on the tradition that she left with the family, so that's why I like it.
Like in school at these kids' age, it's more about how you present yourself than really who you are, you know what I mean? So what we try to tell them, hey, just be yourself, you know. And if people don't like you, they're not gonna like you anyway, you know. So you just try to be yourself, you respect, you know, live with the rule that, hey, do unto others as you want to be done unto you, you know. So you put enough water on them and help them out that they can see their potential, and then boom, the sky's the limit.
Being on Hawaiian, I feel proud. After coming to Lanakila School, I feel like being on, I was thinking about going to college and being a Hawaiian studies teacher. Yeah, just like learn more about my culture, even more.
Yeah, so I'm graduating this year. I've been in this program for 2 years, and I'm gonna miss it.
You know, like all the stuff that we do is really hard, to tell you the truth. We do a lot of vigorous running, you know, our PE, and sometimes we have to spend our weekends to go to school. But you know what, I don't regret any of them. You know, and I'm also graduating this year, so I'm happy.
How I feel about my culture, Hawaiian. I'm proud to be on Hawaiian because there's not many Hawaiians left. So we gotta be proud and just gotta support one another and just help each other out. Gonna have rough times, but just gotta take one step at a time and just accomplish everything.
It's knowing like we're known for like being like real respectful to others, and like we care about other people a lot. Like we help them work their problems out. Aloha means everybody helping each other. Like everybody help each other to get something done. It'll be done way faster than if you do it yourself.
Aloha to me is pretty much a person who has respect for one another, living by the Hawaiian values, having pono, and just bringing positive energy to everything you do in life and everywhere you go.
It's been a reward for me as Makua to help these students, these homeowners, to see them walk away and say that, hey, us as elders are giving them a helping hand so that they, in return, in the future, they're going to be the kupunas.
It's something that we carry on, and hopefully I can carry it on after Uncle Keone, and everybody can help. All of us can maybe just pass it on after us, after that. Hopefully keep them going.
They're like seeds right now to carry on our culture. They can holomua and ho'omau. And we can also say that, you know what, the Hawaiian legacy is alive.
Kalana mai te o hilo e a Kalana ho'i moku ola e moku au I ke kai e ho'opulu ilin sa hune hune kai Haina mai ka puana ano ka ua ka nile ua
Yeehaw.